How you doing out there? I can't thank you enough for being here tonight. You feeling all right? Are we ready to go? Are we geared up? You know, I know they didn't expect a crowd like this for this mayor. But they don't know we've been along on this journey together for a very long time. And I just want to thank you for being here tonight to show everyone this is what Denver looks like. This year, I decided to dedicate this campaign to my late grandmother, Dolores Oliver. Dolores lived just across the street from this rec center. She passed away 36 years ago in 1983. And we would spend weekends with Grandma Dolores, and we would come to this center that was known as Skyland Rec Center at that time. And we would swim, and we would play basketball in this gym, and we would play football in the park. It was here in this Skyland Park that I scored my first touchdown as part of the historic Pirates football team. And John Bailey and this rec center retired my jersey just 2 weeks ago, number 32. There's some dividends being made because I wasn't even the best player on the team. But it was in this center that we met lifelong friends and discovered a sense of community. We felt safe every time we showed up. As the video showed you, growing up in a large family without a lot of resources was tough. But I'm proud of those moments now because I look back on those days and I realize that those moments taught us character and resilience. God was working with us. We were poor, but we weren't without hope. We were homeless for a moment. Boys lived in a motel with mom and the girls were with family friends. But we were a family who found strength and comfort in each other. You saw on the video we talked about my lovely mother who is here. Charlene. She was a single parent of 10 kids and yes, some grandchildren as well. To this day, I don't know how she did it, but she did it. We struggled to find stable and decent housing. We moved from Park Hill to Mount Bello, back to Park Hill, and then to Whittier 5 Points when we finally secured public housing. Only then did we find stability, peace of mind, and begin to establish roots in the community and at school. It was in that community, in Whittier 5 Points, that I attended Cole Middle School, where I met my bride of 25 and a half years, Mary Louise. To Mary Louise, Jordan, Janae, and Alana, thank you for your unconditional love and support. Thank you for being my second wing. Thank you for all that you've done. It is also in that, give them a round of applause. Y'all don't know how tough it is for family. It was also in this community at Manual High School where my siblings and I were part of the great experience of integration. At Manual, we learned the true values of diversity and inclusion. No matter where you traveled from to attend Manual, Polo Club, Crestmore, Hilltop, yes, they came to Manual High School. Cole, Whittier, 5 Points, or South Park Hill. The only thing that mattered was that you were a Thunderbolt. We took care of each other. We cheered and supported each other. And we nurtured a loving and caring environment of achievement. It was there at Manual that I met and began to truly admire people like Wellington Webb and then newly elected Mayor Federico Pena. That exposure sparked my interest and desire and vision of one day being the mayor of this great city. It was all those experiences, including, yes, the hardships at young age, that taught me that there is opportunity for every person in this city even a poor kid from 5 Points. I bring those lessons with me every single day into the mayor's office. In 2011, the people of Denver granted me the greatest honor in my life since the birth of my children by electing me the 45th mayor of this great city. As a Denver native and Denver nurtured, I will always cherish the trust and the awesome responsibility the people placed in me. After taking office, all of us went to work, my administration and you, the people of Denver, to build a world-class city. We took a city reeling from the Great Recession and built the most vibrant economic city in the entire United States in just 7.5 years. 100,000 jobs, 8,100 new companies, one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country, fiscally sound operations, record public and private infrastructure investment, 12 new international direct flights secured, free access to rec centers for our children and our older adults, $300 million committed to affordable housing, more than the entire state of Colorado. An award-winning climate and sustainability effort. We were named by national publications Best Place to Live 2 years in a row. Best place to start a career. Best place to raise children. Best place for millennials. Best place for entrepreneurs. Best place to retire. The people of Denver built a world-class city. Be proud of what we've done together. Folks, we live in a great city. We should be proud of where we stand. We also recognize that a great city takes care of her people. And not all people feel like the prosperity of Denver has benefited them. So in the next term, let me share with you 3 objectives that we're not going to just focus on starting today, but we're going to illuminate even louder and bolder. We want to continue to create a diverse and equitable city and a diverse and equitable economy. That means that, yes, we're going to continue to expand our job training programs and our placements. That means that we're going to continue to fight to loosen the grips of wage stagnation and boost up the minimum wage in Denver facilities and fight for it citywide. That means that we got to get bolder and smarter and more strategic to boost up our small businesses, our women-owned businesses, yes, our minority-owned businesses here in Denver, Colorado. Second, we want to continue to make Denver the most welcoming city. We're going to continue to fight for civil rights and making this city the most welcoming and inclusive city in the country. And that means getting bolder. We've already done a lot, but we're going to continue to fight for criminal justice reform and expanded mental health services, more shelters and transitional housing for, yes, our homeless people who are experiencing homelessness in our city, and making sure we wrap them with the support services they need. And yes, we're going to continue to fight against Donald Trump's ill-informed and ignorant actions toward our immigrants and refugees. Thirdly, we want to continue to be a nation on the leading edge of progressive ideas and a modern economy. We must maintain the highest quality of life with good jobs, opportunities for our kids, and yes, beautiful parks, a multimodal transportation that meets the needs of a growing city and is not an impediment to opportunity, but a bridge to opportunity. We're going to continue to fight for thriving neighborhoods and that great sense of place that we like to call home. And yes, we're going to continue to fight for 100% renewable electricity goal by 2030 and reduction of our carbon emissions by 80% by 2050. These are important because all of our health is dependent upon it. Tonight, I'm going to invite up on the stage some of our emerging leaders who have joined this campaign as co-chairs. They are here tonight because the way I look at it, in this final term, we're getting ready to pass the torch. And it's about them. And it's about the city that they want to live in. And we've got to continue to work with them and work with all of you to hand this great city off to them. I couldn't be prouder to stand with these emerging leaders as we prepare to perfect the future together. They're our inspiration. Someday they're going to be running for mayor and city council and county commissioners. Someday they're going to run for Congress. Someday they're going to run for president. And we got to be proud of the great city that we hand off to them. And so they've come on board as co-chairs of this great campaign. And I want to thank you all for stepping up. These are our leaders of today and tomorrow. They're progressive, and they have progressive ideas. And here's the punchline. We're all Denver. Every day, I go into that office, I see their faces. Every day, I go in my office, and I see the face of my mother. I make decisions based on the struggles and challenges I know that people, older adults in this community, are facing. Every day, I take the faces of my children into that office with me. I take the faces of immigrant children with me. I take the faces of children at Yes Steck Elementary and Mess Elementary. I take the faces of children at Yes Manual High School and East High School. I take the faces of every woman and adult, man and adult, not that they're separate, but I said it and I want to correct it, with me. I never forget growing up in Montbello. I never forget growing up in Park Hill. I will never forget being in Whittier and 5 Points. It's those early experiences that showed me when we work together, we can be victorious. And that every man, woman, and child, white, black, Latino, American Indian, and Asian, and in between, we make up Denver, Colorado. We are all Denver. We leave no one behind. And even when there's prosperity in that corner of town, we got to bring it to that corner of town. We leave no one behind. And in this campaign, we're going to remind everyone that we are all Denver. We're going to win this race. We're ready to go. When they go low, we're going to go high. We're going to prove to them that that's not how we do business in Denver. It's one Denver right for all Denver right. Let's get this party started.